Hello class, I hope you're all ready to start a new academic year. Each week, many items will be posted along with weekly assignments. Most of the time in the video, you will get to see my face as I will give you a short lecture. But for the first week, I'll be walking you through a few different steps such as the syllabus and online information, so I'm just going to do a screen capture. First, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Professor Caleb Hubbard, and this is my wife, Megan, my son, who's 5 months, Gideon, and my dog, Oliver. I mainly am an adjunct professor at West Texas A&M University, meaning I do not have an office at OPSU. So you need to email me. You cannot come to my office or give me a call. You need to email me. I'll touch base on this again. I have a master's in communication, and I currently am in the works of my doctorate degree. Now, before we transition to the course, I want to inform you that this is an online course, 100% online. If you have not taken an online course before, know that you need to read everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. If I post something, email you something, or tell you something, and you miss it because you did not read it, that is on you. You need to read everything. Now moving on, and now that scares you a little bit, I want to let you know that this class should be reflecting on your day-to-day life, meaning that all the assignments should reflect something around communication within your everyday life. The class shouldn't be too hard, so just go ahead and smile. It should be great as long as you do all of the assignments, which will focus on your day-to-day life. Now, let's dive into the course. First, we're going to look at the syllabus, just briefly. I'm not going to cover every single point, so the points that I do not cover, make sure you go back and read it. Yes, you need to read everything. Again, read everything. Looking at the syllabus, you can go click right over here to Class Overview, and then the syllabus will pop up. If you did not know, this is speech communication. Just because that the title is speech communication does not mean we only focus on public speaking. That is the main part of the course. But we look at all different forms of communication. We look at the basic forms of them all. And everything of this revolves around items that you do in your everyday life, such as nonverbal communication, small group communication, conflict communication, interpersonal communication, and much more. Listed right here is my name. Again, Professor Caleb Hubbard. My email is right here. Okay, so if you need help, email me. I reply pretty quickly within 24 hours, so I should be able to reply to your email if you have any questions. The text is Gamble and Gamble's Communication Works. It's a 10th edition. There is the new edition, but it's a lot more money, and it's basically the exact same thing, so we're just doing the edition from 2010. The textbook is a little bit old, and I'm not a huge fan of the age of it since communication is constantly changing, but the basics of it works, and then I'm able to build off of the text within the lessons. Now, scrolling down to page 4, this is where it first starts talking about the assignments. First is participation. Each week, I will assign participation credit. And the assignment will range from you looking at your current communication life to doing something out of the ordinary within a social expectation of communication. Each participation credit each week is 15 points each, meaning if you do not do any participation credit, it's going to be very hard to pass the class and impossible to make an A. Next is attendance. Attendance is each week as well, and you will have a discussion prompt that I will prompt at the end of my lecture videos that you will then need to comment on. You then will need to reply to at least two, again, at least two of your classmates. Know that just replying, I agree, does not count for credit. Please tell me that you agree and why, or tell me that you disagree and why, but I need to know the why. In my in-class classes, I always play a game, which I'm unable to play with you, but basically I teach the class that 2 plus 2 equals something like 7. How is that possible? Well, you explained to me that 2 plus 2 equals 7 if you also add 3. You explained why. In this class, in a lot of humanities classes, 2 plus 2 can equal 7. Now, know that if you go to math class and you say 2 plus 2 equals 7, you're wrong. You can't do that in math. But just know that in this class, as long as you explain why to me, you should be able to get full credit. I also look for basic spelling, basic grammar, but if you have one word misspelled, that's okay. I'm not that great of a speller, so we'll just go along with it. But make sure you do basic grammar, basic spelling, like capitalizing your I's. Okay? The next three sections right here are for your speeches. Okay, so you're going to have a demonstration speech, a informative speech, and a persuasive speech. For all three of these, you're going to have outlines, and for two of them, you're going to have visual aids, which we'll discuss briefly. Next is your outlines. Every single speech you post, you will need to submit an outline. They're worth 15 points each. And then for two of your speeches, you're going to have visual aids, also worth 15 points. Visual aids are PowerPoints. You're going to need to submit a PowerPoint, and when you do your speeches for informative and persuasive speech, I'm going to need to see your PowerPoint somehow with you. Moving on to the last three items is the speaker critique. You will have to watch someone give a speech. Live is better and more so required. It can be a priest, it can be a motivational speaker, it can be anything that you want that you believe that will work. If you have any questions about a person, you can always email me and I can tell you yes or no. You can see the rubric for details on what to look for in the speech communication tab, which I'll get to in a second. You can submit this any day within the semester. It's open the very first day and it closes on December 4th. You can do it early on or you can do it the very last day it's due. Just know that you have to do it, and finding a YouTube video at midnight the day before it's due will not work. It needs to be a live video, or a live person, not a video. Next is the information for the midterm and the final. Each test will be open for a week, and you're going to have a week to do it. I'm going to talk more about that in a second. This section, it talks about your grading. All the assignments we just talked about up there, it shows the points. Right here, it shows right here that attendance is worth 10 points each, but it's 15, so 15 times 10 is 150. So overall, there's 1,000 points. Okay? If you're wanting to make an A, you have to at least get 900 points. If you're wanting to make a B, you're going to range between here, C, range between here, D, range between here, and an F if you don't get at least 600 points. Now, looking at the class schedule, there are three different columns. The first column talks about which week is it, week 1, week 2, week 3. The next column talks about the lesson that we're going to be learning, so you can kind of see an overview of what we're going to be doing. And then the very final column talks about the readings and special assignments. As you can see here, you're going to have basic readings. So this week, you're supposed to be reading the syllabus. On another week, you're supposed to be reading chapter 1, chapter 2, blah, blah, blah. Okay, on and on. You can check that here. Note in week 4 right here, and also in week 15, you're going to have online readings. I will post these articles in the tab for that week. You then need to go read it, and then you need to go and that's going to be your readings for that time, along with other readings in the chapter. Week 4 has 3 readings. Week 15 only is going to have online readings, so make sure you read it all. Again, read everything I assign. Every single thing I assign for the reading is up for grabs on the test. If I assigned it for reading, that means it should be there. Now know on your final and your midterm, it's open book, it's open Google, it's open online, it's open lecture, open PowerPoint, whatever works best for you. Okay, and I'll briefly discuss that a little bit more detail coming up. Also here is special assignments. So you can see that you're going to have an introduction speech and an outline practice due on August 26th. You have your speeches when they're due, your midterm when it closes, your final, your speaker critique, and all of that. So it's going to show when they're due. Remember, you still have weekly assignments such as participation and attendance. If you do not do those every single week just because that it is not listed in the syllabus, well, it's listed right here, so you're going to not get points for that. Make sure you do your weekly assignments. Now, that's basically the information on the syllabus. Let's move on to the tabs over here. First tab I want to look at is the class participation instructions. If you have any questions on what to do for the class participation, you can come here and it can answer it. Then if you're unsure of what to do and this does not answer it, then email me and I'll help you out. So first is the attendance and discussion. Again, I will post a prompt, you apply, comment on 2 classmates. You will then need to have all that done before Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Everything will go live for that week Monday at midnight, and then it closes the following Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Meaning there's 1 hour of darkness that you are not able to do anything with in this class. So you have 1 full week to do your basic assignments. 1 full week to get everything done. If you want to do it at 2 a.m., if you want to do it at 1 p.m., it does not matter to me. 1 full week, you can work on these assignments whenever works best for you. Okay, but again, that's the beauty about online classes, but you have to read everything, you have to do everything. And since I give you a full week to do all of these for your weekly assignments, I do not take late credit. Participation is the same thing. It closes at 11:59 p.m., so make sure you do that. Okay, submitting work. This is a big one. When you submit, you're going to need to submit it in APA format. Now, if you're unsure how to do APA format, there's a tab, and I have APA help for you there, and I'll show you that tab in a second. Many times, students try to submit me documents that are in Pages or Google Docs or something like that. I am unable to read a lot of those. If I'm unable to open it, I'm unable to grade it, which means you're not going to get a grade for it. So make sure you submit it to me in a Microsoft Word doc is the best. Universities give you a ability to use Microsoft Word. So if you have to transform it from Google Docs and go to another computer and do Microsoft Word, do what you need to do to submit it correctly. Now, what happens if you do not submit it correctly? I understand. Sometimes you submit something and you're not even thinking about it, or you're unsure how to do something. So right here is the rules on what to do. So not submitting something correctly, within the first 5 weeks, I will help you out. So the first defense, I will email you saying you submitted this in the wrong format, please submit it in the correct format. No points deducted, because again, I understand you might just run into that issue. The second offense, if you do it 2 times, then you're going to get points deducted because you're not learning from your mistake. And then if you do it for a 3rd time, I'm no longer going to grade it. After the first 5 weeks, I'm no longer grading items that are not submitted correctly. You should, within the first 5 weeks, you have at least 5 items that have been uploaded correctly, hopefully. And I'm not going to be grading anything after the first 5 weeks that is not submitted correctly, because that means you're not learning from your mistakes, so you're not really doing anything about it. Moving on, if you have tech issues, being an online class, you're probably going to have tech issues. I have tons of them when creating this class, when doing this class. When I've done this in the past semesters, I've always had tech issues uploading videos. Realize uploading a video takes tons of time, so make sure you have time to do that. If you have tech issues, you need to contact me and IT for help. If you contact me 24 hours in advance, I will be more than happy to help you. If you contact me at 11:45 p.m. Sunday night saying, hey, I'm trying to submit this, it's not going to work, then I'm going to read it on Monday morning and be like, oh, that stinks. You're going to get a 0 because you were trying to submit it 15 minutes before it was due. Yes, I understand you're still submitting it before it's due, but I'm not going to wait up late at night waiting to see if someone's going to email me about tech issues. I already have my degrees. I don't want to wait up late at night anymore just to try to see if you're going to have tech issues. So make sure you get that resolved. If you email me Friday at 4 p.m. saying, hey, I'm having tech issues, I need help, or is there a possible extension, something like that, then I'm going to say, yes, I will gladly work with you. I will gladly help you. We will work through it, and that's perfectly fine. But 15 minutes, 2 hours before something's due, I'm not going to help you. Okay? Now, speaking of help, if you have any questions or you need help, other than emailing me, you can also post here. Again, I reply to my emails pretty quickly, but you can always post here. If you have any questions, you can look here. Someone else might have the question as well. So when you click in here, you go, and then there's going to be a thread, many threads that people might comment and say, hey, I'm confused how to do this. I will then try to go in and reply to these. What's great about this is if you post it, another student can then go and look and say, hey, I actually know the answer to this question. I'm more than glad to answer it, and you can do it. So students, you can also reply and answer other students' questions. If you do not, I will try my best. I will look at this as well, and I will do it. But feel free to ask or look here and try to get your answers answered. Okay? And that is all for this tab. Now for APA help, I don't have everything posted yet, but it will be pretty soon. You can go here and look to see all the APA help I have. When I was in school, no one taught me how to do APA. It's very difficult, so I have a workshop for you. I have some documents for you. I have some web links and different things like that to help you learn how to do APA, because I understand learning a brand new format is difficult. And as long as you can get the basics of the APA done, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not looking for perfection on APA. I just want to know that you are trying. And this is the tab to help you. Same with speech help. If you're going to need help on your speeches, I will always post here on different items. So I'll post some TED Talks. I'll post some articles. I have some different items that I have created to help you with speeches. You can then go and look here. I post all the time periodically throughout the semester. You can look and be like, hey, there's something new that I can watch. When I post it, I'll normally email you, say, hey, I found this great TED Talk. I found this great article, or just post this TED Talk that relates to the speeches that you're about to give. Feel free to look at them, okay? So I'll be posting that here. Information for the final and for the midterm, it will be here. I will always post a week in advance a study guide for both the midterm and the final. So you can go and look at the final and the midterm, use that study guide, type all the answers out you think you can do, and then use that study guide on your midterm and final. When the midterm and final go live, they're not going to go live in the weeks. They're going to go live in here, in this tab. So go take your final and your midterm in this tab. For your speech submissions, you will submit your speeches here. So you have an introduction speech, it's practice, and an introduction outline here that you need to submit before August 26th. You need to make sure that you go here and submit it. When your speech is due is when your outline and everything else that is due with your speech. You will go here and submit it. Do not submit your outline, your visual aids, and all that under the speech. I have all of these connected to the grade book where I can grade it automatically, and it connects so you can see your grade feedback right away. Okay, so I post all the speeches here. Now, all the speeches are here, but you will not be able to see them all until they go live. And the speeches will be live for about 2 weeks, and then they will go dark. So you will have 2 weeks to figure out what to do for the speech and then actually do the speech. And then finally right here is the speaker critique. As we already discussed, you're going to have the speaker critique. You can come here, look what to do, all of that information. There'll be more information posted by tomorrow is when everything will go live. And then you can always go and submit your speaker critique any time in the semester. It's due December 4th. But if you want to submit it September 29th, or if you want to submit it November 3rd, you can submit it during that time. I do not care. You just have to submit it before December 4th. Okay? And then right here is where the weekly tabs are. Hopefully you've already found this. If you're watching this video, you have. You just go here. This is where you're going to your attendance. Attendance is a discussion. So this one's saying, when looking at public speaking, what do you find the scariest part to be? Explain. So you'll click on that. You then will start a new thread. And then you will then go, and when you post, I would like you to post your first or last name, or both, does not matter. And then you can have a fun little clever thing if you want. So, like, scary speech. Something like that. And then you're going to post here. Okay? Like, speech is scary. I can't type today. Okay? Different things like that. But having your last name posted really, really helps me when I'm grading. Okay? So make sure you do that. And then that's the same for when you're going to post to someone else's. You just go to, you click on there, you will start a new thread. So you will do your own comment, start a new thread, and then there's no threads right now because it hasn't went live, but then you will reply to people's threads right here, at least 2. Okay? And then for your participation, it will explain what you have to do right here when you click on it. Okay? Which this doesn't. Oh, there's a quiz for this one. So you're going to then take the quiz. It hasn't went live yet, so that's why it looks odd. But then if you need something submitted, you click on it and then you press submit. Okay? Everything will go live the week of the Monday at midnight, okay? And then it will go dark at Sunday 11:59. So make sure you do all of that. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. If you are unsure about what to submit, or what to upload, or when something is due, or the schedule, you can always go to course schedule right here, and it'll show you what is about to come up, okay? And then everything should be listed here. Now remember, everything I just showed you, it's going to look a little bit different than yours because some of the things on yours has not went live. Because if everything's live at once, you're going to have a panic attack of all that's due because it's all very simple items that should not take you too long. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help. Just email me. I do not have an office. I do not have a phone. I am about 4 hours away from you, so I will not be able to drive down there and help you out. If you have tech issues, I will be more than happy to work with you. If you happen to get sick, you happen to get hospitalized, you have a death in the family, anything like that, let me know. Again, this isn't a normal class though. If you have a death in the family and you have a funeral on Thursday, you still have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to work on the items, okay? So make sure that you're prepared. I would recommend not procrastinating, but we all know college students procrastinate, so that's fine as long as you get it done. If anything happens, let me know. I will be more than happy to work with you, but realize that I'm not scared to say no on things. Okay? Again, you'll be able to see my face next week, and I hope you have a great first week. If you have any questions, let me know. You have an assignment for discussion due, so make sure you go do the attendance discussion and also participation. FYI, the participation is a quiz. It's going over this video that you just watched along with the syllabus, so I recommend you downloading the syllabus, using it on the quiz. Okay, it will ask you different items about the syllabus and about what we just discussed. So if you have the syllabus open while you're taking the quiz, that is perfectly fine. I just want to know that you can look at the syllabus and you understand how to read it. Again, most of these videos will not be longer than 20 minutes. This will be the longest video you have, and it's just my voice and the screen, but the rest of them will be you actually get to see me. If you have any questions, let me know. You all have a great week, and I will talk to you all.